Well, hello, everybody. This is part 6 of the real truth about the physical world and the spirit world. Now, just like I said more like in the other video, the negative more spirits and negative psychics, more like it's all into your head. And as well, once the in your head, they need to go a bit more deeper, more connected with you. They plug themselves on you, the back of your neck, where the hairline ends and where the hairline begins, more like from left to right on the back of the neck. Now, just like in the other video I told you before, more they do get involved with your dream as well. Those dreams don't make no sense to you. That is not the devil. That's a negative spirit. Negative psychic is involved with your dreams there, causing your dreams to be pulled in a lot of different directions. During those dream, one could be more like trying to show you something, while another one trying to depress you for not seeing something, while another one trying to steal more like maybe the background. Yeah, these things and more be going on into those dreams when you got negative spirit, negative psychics around you or into your dreams. I heard again about more like ghosts, or you can say spirits, can enter your dreams. And psychics can enter your dreams too. People you see off the street, they see you directly, and then later that day, all the afternoon, they can directly come visit you and go right into your dream category. I don't hear too many stories about it, but it is indeed 100% true. That and a long list of many, many other things out here that you would think is fantasy, but it's real. This is another thing I don't hear people be talking about more like on the internet, or we don't come across more like in books neither. It's about more like these negative spirits and negative psychics. They like to do another thing on you. Now, right in the center of your head on the top, the negative spirit, negative psychic like to implant something right on your crown chakra. Literally, right on it. Just like you see more like on in this picture here. This spirit is on top of this man's head, and you see some light, this negative spirit doing some work to this man right now. You probably say, what is it doing? Well, it's a long list of many things it can be doing to the man now. But I'll tell you what's going on here. The negative spirit, negative psychic is implanting internet on this man's head. I'll say it again. The negative spirit, negative psychic is implanting internet on the man's head. And this is where the crown chakra is, right on top of the man's head. When I say internet, the first thing comes to your mind is your smartphone, your laptop, your computer, or your smart TV. But yes, internet can be implanted in your head, just like in this picture here. It don't take that long for them to implant the internet on you. About 5 minutes or less. Depending on who's doing it. It really don't take that long. I would say it could take more like under 1 minute, depending on who's doing it to you. With a long list of many, many other things, this is not really new information. It's just one of information people do not directly tell each other directly. It's more like one of things they like to keep under cover. Now, many reasons as well, the negative spirits, negative psychic, do not want you to remove this. They want to keep more like the internet on you all the time. Not just more like a day or a week or a month or a year. They want you to keep the internet on you, implanted on you, always. So for many, many reasons, mainly controlling reason, they don't want you more like they have this removed. So if you more have this removed, they believe they cannot trust you, they can't do this and that. But yes, when the main reason is controlling reason why they want this internet inserted more like on your head, like always. Now, it doesn't matter if you are right now spiritual wake or spiritual sleep. You got one of these things on your head right now. Now, it's not just for more like people that got these things implanted. They got these things implanted as well on animals as well. Yes, even animals. So yes, this is another way more like to controlling different others. So yes, then be aware of this. If you somehow wake up in the middle of the night and more like you feel that something working on the middle of your head, that could be what's going on there. Yeah, it could definitely be exactly what's going on there. Or, depending on your age as well, this already there. So there's a chance that could be going on, but more highly, they're doing something else to your brain. They're not really implanting stuff right there and when you catch them, because the implantment already been done on you. They do a long time ago. But just like more like anything is implant, you can, it's ways to have this removed off your head. There are ways to get it done. Now, determine on your internet you pay for, determine how fast it's going to be. So the actual increase and decrease your internet more at speed, determine how fast your internet you pay out of your pocket. So they will do some adjustment on you. So if one day you buy more like a faster, more like internet, if you notice things off balance and really all over, yeah, they made some adjustment on your internet speed. So definitely be aware if you start to upgrade your internet to a much higher speed and than you currently got. If you notice like the next day things feel very weary, like you things don't seem properly right. This is what's going on with you. You did some adjustment on your internet speed. As well, depending on again, they will decrease this. Now, if you somehow don't got more like no internet, they're still going to implant this on you. It's just more like ain't going to be the same speed as others though. So definitely be aware of this right on your crown chakra. Now, another thing, determine how to implant it more like the internet. Determine how much you directly feel something as well. So one day, if you feel like something is right there on your crown chakra and you're not sure exactly what it is and it feels uncomfortably, that is exactly what happened. Someone more like implanted a internet on the crown chakra, but it did it a little off. So more like you feeling things off and it feels uncomfortable. And if you go to more like a actual doctor, and when you check it out, they ain't gonna see nothing there. They ain't gonna see nothing there at all. So yes, this is more like a thing spiritually. More of course they knows about it, but the way they be checking thing, it's not gonna register or nothing at all. More when they check here and there, more like on your head from this thing to that thing. You need to literally get it more like a done, remove more like spiritually. So yes, you it's one of the things you can directly feel. One of the things not so easy to directly show directly proof something like a bump or something. So it's not gonna show or feel like a bump, but you can directly feel something there, but it's done more like wrong. So definitely be aware of that on your crown chakra. Depending on you all, you maybe been going through this maybe a few days, few weeks, or even a few years. So long you probably even used to the feeling there. So yes, definitely not natural. So definitely be aware of the implanting internet on your crown chakra, and of course be aware if they do it wrong too. Of course, no matter if it's done properly or improperly, you need to have that removed too. Now, once you implant more like your crown chakra, it's another very important thing you want to make sure is implanted into your brain. Now, this is another thing they definitely want to have implanted in your brain. As you see in the picture, you see an X-ray scan, and you see these different little sparky things over the brain, starting with the one in the middle in different parts of the brain. And of course, you got more like a negative, more like a spirit or psychic there, more like the thing that actually implanted these things over your brain. Now, when it comes down to more like the size of these sparkle things, especially the one in the middle, they don't have to be that size. They can be a whole lot smaller. Now, you probably saying, what are these sparkly things the negative spirits and psychics want to implant in your brain? So, yes, you look at them, they're just like sparkly things, but they are actually something else. These are microphones. And they implant these things in your brain. And this thing works just like a mic. The only huge difference is it don't use the same physical technology as the mic on your phone, or the mic more like in your laptop, or your main mic if you're someone more like live stream. Yeah, this mic is not made with that same technology. This is done with a much higher technology. A technology can easily blend more like implanting the brain, and it's blend with more like the chemicals of the brain and some liquid and a few other things, and it forms a mic. So yes, there are ways to use a mic without more like using the technology, more like the one from your phone or the one from like your line stream. Yeah, technology have gotten this far. Now, the main spot they want to make sure that mic is at, right in the center of your brain. So that's the first place to want a mic at. Depending on more like a few things about you, you would want more than one mic. Maybe you want one to the top with your forehead. Maybe you want one at the other section of your forehead. Maybe you want some to the top, two at the top. Maybe you want a few in the back. Yes, depending on more like a few things about you and your situation, determine how many mics they want. But the main spot they really want a mic at, right in the middle of your brain. Now these mics, just like a mic, they're gonna help them more to understand more like things about you, and if you would say something and do something, sort of like a mic, like any mic. So if you will say something mentally, well, this is gonna pick it up on different vibrations and different levels others do not talk about. So yes, these are one of the main reasons they want mics inside of your brain. Again, this is another category of control. It's not hard for them to create this liquid cell type of more like mic that blends with your brain there. It's not that hard for them to do. Really, it's not. But this is another more like a way for they can keep up more like different things. You maybe come cross different parts of your brain. Maybe something pop up in the back. Maybe something pop up on the side. Mainly, of course, they want something in the middle because all kinds of things are there. But maybe you got something on the other side. They want to make sure they are really up to date on anything happen throughout your brain. So yes, this is another category controlling you. Now, of course, the mics as well can be bigger, like make them even bigger, different parts of your brain. And of course, they can as well upgrade the mic. So if the mic ain't doing good enough for them to do, trying to keep up with different tasks and things to your brain process, you can directly more like upgrade the mics to make it even a better mic too. Here is another picture. These mics can be as small as in this picture here, and it can be even smaller than that. And yes, they don't have to be more like on the size you've seen before. It can be this exact size. So yes, for a lot of people, for more like independent mic, these are usually the right about a size they usually pick here. And they don't have to be all these. Consider more each and every single dot you see here is a mic. So that alone is over 100 different mics. If you look into that this picture, you count more like the yellow, more like dots, and the blue dots. That's 100 mics there. Yeah, don't put more like 100 mic in your head. But depending on again your situation, you maybe go for that. They don't need that many in there. So yes, definitely be aware. More like if you wake up in the middle of the night, if you feel something just move or just hit you or something like that, because it could be one of them more like implanting more like a new mic in you, or adjusting the other mic, or more like adding a mic in there. So definitely be aware of that. So yeah, they really try to make sure these stay up to date, what function and come throughout your brain. Another category of control. Now, do not think this mic just applies to more like people. No, it applies to more like animals as well. More they be pinning mics in animals as well. So yes, again they put the mic in the middle of more like the animal brain. So them be aware of that too. So it's not just people, animals too. They be pinning these mics into. That brings us to the next topic, in the negative spirits and negative psychic, seeing what you see in first time point of view, hearing what you hearing, tasting what you tasting, feeling what you feeling, and smelling what you smelling, and messing with your sense to sense things as well. So then be aware of more like if you're doing something, about to do something, if you get attacked, any emotional feelings coming around you, any headache out of the blue, or headache in a certain spot of your brain, or more like you just getting different attacks or some new weird attacks. Yeah, if that timing is a little too timing going by what you see or what you think, then yes, that was definitely more like a negative spirit cycle. So definitely get them timings of all them different attacks. Now, as this guy in the movie theaters enjoying this movie with his girlfriend with popcorn and stuff, at the exact same time, well, he's not alone. Now, if you look to the right here, you see more like a negative spirit, or you can call that a negative, more like a psychic there. Right in the movie theaters with these two. Now, the negative, more like a spirit, now, the viewpoint you're looking for is not from that view, but directly your view. But I'm just showing you more like they can more like pop up from the side like this as well, or more like pop up from any side. But the main view is your view. They're not looking from the view like this. And as you see, they got a device in the hand, look like a phone, and they literally want sending messages. What's going on? So yes, they are indeed doing exactly what you see. They are sending messages. Now, determine more like what is going on. More like the individual they test themselves real, or more like what they see on TV or in the environment, a negative spirit or negative psychic will literally send a message out there. Now the next question should come to your mind is, who is he sending these messages to? Now it could be a lot of different more people they could be sending that message to. One person they would send that message to, depending on again what you're doing and what you're seeing, they could be sending that message to the directly self, like literally themselves. They could be sending that message to, or it could be sending a message to someone more like in that movie there, like literally send them an actual message, or more send someone from a TV show, or this send again from someone more like they know link wise. So yes, these messages are not new. These messages been going on a long time before it was smartphones available. So yes, it's not new. This ain't more like a 10 years, 20 years, or 30 years, or 50 years. This been going on. It's been going on much more longer than that. More like sending different messages in a spiritual way. You ever wonder how certain people didn't know things, but you know they wasn't around, and you were curious, how do they know these things? Well, this is one of the big main reasons how they know so many different things. When they're not around and you don't got no one is linked to them physically, this is how they know things. They directly more like send a message directly, or someone that knows them is send them a message. Yeah, they be more like sending different messages going by what you're doing again. What you're doing, what you're seeing, what you're hearing, tasting, and a few other things. So yes, they do be sending messages, just like this negative spirit or negative psychic is doing in this exact picture here. But as you see in this picture, it's a negative spirit more like around more like this guy in the movie theaters. But if you look on the right, the same guy, the one looks like a spirit, is more like somewhere else, like literally this negative more spirit or psychic. In this case, this would be more like a negative, more like a psychic here, especially he's in more like in two spots. So yes, in two different spots, they're around you, getting the information about you, and then sending that information to themselves, or send that information to someone else. Like you're literally two different spots at the same time. This both is directly fully active. The physical body can go anywhere, do anything out the days and night, while the negative one spirit one is around you, and as well checking on things, looking at things, changing things, doing a whole lot of different negative things around you at that. And this is not more like a few seconds, a few minutes, a few hours, or a few days this stuff goes on. They can go on for more like years, more like this stuff. It can go on to more like you well, your time is up on this this big rock of dirt. So yes, this is basically more like the main communication buzz, how people know things when they ain't there, like literally. So if you ever wonder, this is your answer. Other people maybe call it this or maybe call it that, but this is exactly what's going on. If you ever did something behind someone and they wasn't there, and then you come across them, they start acting a little weary, a little funny, well, they got some update more like things you did in this way. So definitely keep your eyes on people more like act a little funny, going by more like something you did is linked to them, or at time more like you can be talking about them. And then when they come across them, they may act a little different as well. So if you got someone like that, be aware of that. They are as well keeping updates on you in another way. And that another way is like this. So definitely be aware of that. Now, when it comes down to them sending out messages and stuff like that, you got to really more like be careful at time and things you directly look at. Like depending on what you are, who you are, you like to more like pick things and some places of your house, like certain important items and hidden spots, and as well more like money. Depending on you, some people still have money in the house. But you put more like things in your house like that. And if you're a winner, more like ever heard a story more like some people more like broke in and somehow the thieves know exactly where the item was at. Well, this is one of the reasons how they know where it was at. And if it wasn't cameras or someone directly told them directly physically, this is how they know. More like the individual was around you or someone was a link to the individual and they send out the message. Literally send out the message as well. So yes, this is one of the reasons how they others might be knowing things. This is more like one of the ways is. So yeah, then be aware more like when you pin up things. One good tip you could directly do if you pin up things, if you really know your place by heartbeat, try closing your eyes and then pin it up. Yes. You do it like this, it make it more harder for other things for them like pin that information about you, wherever that spot is and wherever it is. But since they're using 5 senses, they can kind of add things up in another way. How much it is, what the spot it is, and a few other things. But closing your eye really helps out when you want to hide things. Now, when you hear more like these negative psychics around you, and the first thing comes to your mind, they must be astral projection themselves, just like in this picture here. Now, at first, it do seem like that's what these psychics are doing. Find themselves a cozy spot and laying down and then popping out of their bodies and just going out there and doing a lot of negativity things to others. It definitely might be seen like that. But to do it like this, the body has to be relaxed and not active. Now you, the spirit more that comes out about it, you are active, and now you can go around doing different things. Go from one room to the next room to the next room, or go outside, or go out there real far. But at this exact same time, your body is not active. It can't move around. It can't go around doing different things. It definitely can't more like walk outside of the house and go somewhere and drive a car. It can't do that. So yes, the body is not active, and you as the spirit who's out of the body is active. So it's not astral projection, the ones who sticking around you 24 hours. And I mean literally 24 hours. If you somehow come across the person who is around you like that, they're going to be fully active. If it's someone on TV, if they're around you, again, they're going to be fully active. Now, this astral projection version here, they won't be active. So yes, there's more than one way to separate between the body and the soul. Not only is more than one way to do it, but this method is they can literally split themselves into multiple versions of themselves out there. Similar to Naruto, the ninja from the TV show Naruto, the main antagonist from more like the first and the second, more like a TV show version of that. So yeah, the same way this guy can shadow clone himself into more like 20, 30, 50, 100, 100,000, and get each one of these like different tasks and missions, and all of them be functioning in their own way. Same thing applies to more like the way they be doing. The only big difference is More like Naruto, when he's shadow clones, each one of these shadow clones is a physical version of himself there. These negative spirit is like a spirit version, and they being into more like different, more like people going into the homes amongst homes around them and sticking around them 24/7. So it's different, but it's very similar at the same time. Now, just like more like any one of these clones, they can send message to the main one, or if something would happen to one of these clones, all the information they had more attained that time period would go straight to the main one, which would be the main Naruto out of here. Now, if something would happen to the negative one psychic, they will more like explode in a spiritual way. All the information they attain will not go to all to them. So it is different, but similar at the same time for them. But they do more like be sending messages as well, and they got their own tasks. So the same way, more like the main body somewhere doing the daily tasks, well, these somewhere else out there doing other things towards the individual, and it lasts on. It's not just more like a few seconds, a few minutes, a few hours, a few days, a few months. No, it could be literally years. And like I said before, it could be around until you more like your time is up on this hunk of rock dirt. Now, when you separate that, it brings a lot of confusion to others. More like you saying, well, you hear someone, but at the same time be there. And this can bring a whole lot of confusion. Makes you think a lot of things could be more like going with you all alone. They are actually there, just done in a different way. Now, this type of thing is a very, very, very big part of the scam going around between the physical world and the spirit world. With that little move there, what they be doing, they can really more like have you thinking one thing, all along more like another thing is going. It's a lot of things could be confusing on your end. Now, the main individual who around you could be right in front of you, right at your job in front of you. When you go to work, they're around you spiritually, doing all kinds of negativity thing towards you. So yes, they can split themselves into multiple places. So if you at the end more like your home amongst home, no telling how many other people homes amongst home it could be in 5 different people home at one time, 10, 20, 30, 50, 100, 200. Yes, even 1,000, even higher than that. Depending on more like the visual like is doing this. They are exactly living off your lifestyle, literally. If you're spotting these things out more like around you, find out exactly who it is, do some spiritual work, and really find out who it is. They do like to disguise themselves as others as well. So really find out, is it really them? Once you put all the pieces together, if things just continue more adding up that is them, then it's a very highly chance that is them. Now, on that note, that would end it for more this part 6. The real truth behind the physical world and the spirit world. Or you can just call it the spirit warfare. On that, if you want to hear more about these things going around you, others not talking about, go on to more the next video. That'd be more like part 7. I'll catch y'all over there.